to the Motivational Speaker Manual. The Professional Speaker's Manual, the Motivational Speaker. It's 15 to 20 minutes long. The title is It's Over. When holding your back, what is holding you back from achieving that one elusive thing in your life? You see it, yet you have not started it as yet. This session will give you tools to not only gain that thing, but to also get much more in the process. Carla Stokes is a certified MBTI educator, Real Colors, and Strength Quest educator. She's a trained certified coach working on her ICF credentials. Please welcome Carla.
Thank you, fellow Toastmasters. Toastmasters. So, I do want to say this. I did it. I did it. Now, some of you are wondering, what did she do? What did she do? Now, those of you, I like to walk, those of you that are thinking, it's Carla, we may be accessories to a crime after the fact. No, that's not what it is. What I did was, I took a step. I made a decision. I'm going to read something to you. It's going to give you an idea. Sick and tired of being sick and tired? Had as much as I can take? I'm so done, so over being afraid. What does that make you think? Anyone? This is not rhetorical. What are you sick and tired of being? Stuck, in the same position, not having enough. I won't say broke, I will say financially challenged, afraid. I did it. I took a step to stop being afraid. Let me go back. Are there any humans in this room? So we're all human, good. Don't want to make any assumptions, don't want to assume. So as humans, that means you were born, you grew, you learned. You learned some amazing stuff. You learned how to turn flips, you learned how to ride bikes, you learned how to please your parents by doing that look. Please. You also learned some not so amazing things. How to lie, how to cheat. Not that I'm saying y'all lying and cheating. How to hurt, how to hide, how to disappear, and how to have fear. Someone taught you that. Someone told you about being afraid. Either someone or something made you afraid. I must confess, I do have a fear or 20. When I was younger, I was afraid of the dark. And I will tell you this, I was younger yesterday than I am today. So you do the math. I was afraid of the dark because I love monsters. Godzilla, Wolfman, Frankenstein, those were my buddies. I would hang out with the mummy. Listen, I wanted Dracula, like, come on, Dracula, me and you, we're going to go get some people. Because I know you can take him, Dracula. I could watch that all day and not have one problem, not one. But you put on Saw, The Nun, The Omen, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I'm not watching that. Why? Why? What was the difference? Because those were people that could come and get me in the dark. No. I was not watching any of that movie. Just looking at the pictures of, nope, next picture, didn't want to do it. So as I'm coming home, I reach in the house and then I flick the lights. And then I start a light trail all the way up to my bed. Because It's the dark. It could be a monster. Not a monster, it could be horror. Monsters are different. It could be horror in my family. So I have learned to live with it, and I just realized as I was flicking the lights on, all my lights have where I can flick one on, go to the next one, flick that one on, flick another one on, and just keep a little path going up. So if I forget, my husband will come in and say, I know who's home. He never has to worry if I'm home because the lights are on. I have another fear. Well, I had another fear. I have a fear of success. Now, the marvel that's standing before you may not seem like it, but I did. I was afraid to succeed. I was afraid that if I was a success, people would say, she's a fake. She's a fraud. That's impossible. She could never have achieved such things. She's lying. Why would I feel that way? Who made me feel that way? This 4-letter word, fear. Fear made me feel that way. Fear would come upon me as I'm doing something amazing. I can make a 7-Up cake that will make you cry. I can make a box cake to save my life. 7-Up cake from scratch. Box cake with instructions. When I got to make a box cake, I've already told my mind I can't do it. I'm not gonna be able to do it. So what happens? I can't do it. I cannot make a box cake. You can wake me up out of my sleep and say I need a 7-Up cake, and the ingredients just go in because it was automatic. That was something I love to do. I attribute that with my aunt who taught me how to bake, and there was no fear in that kitchen. There was none. You will bake this 7-Up cake, you will learn how to do this, and you will give it to my grandmother who would eat no bakery cake whatsoever. And I wanted to be good for my grandmother because she had the treats. So I wanted to be good for my grandmother. So I wasn't afraid of that. But a box cake, no. As soon as I picked up the box, hands are shaking, like, I can't make a box cake, this is ridiculous. My children will look at me, wait, let me get this straight. You can make a cake with no instructions, but a box cake with instructions, you have problems. Yes, I do. Don't ask me why. So as I'm learning, I have fear. Fear has told me the reason why I cannot succeed is because of who I am. I grew up in Gary, Indiana, home of the Jacksons and the murder capital of USA in 1984, the year I graduated from high school. Two polar opposite things. When I thought about, it's okay, a lot of famous people came from Gary. Michael Jackson, Denise Williams, Dominique Dawes, Jesse Powell, a lot of famous people came from Gary. But fear stood in my face and said, "Boo, but not you. You're not gonna be famous. You're not gonna be the one saying you from Gary and you famous." I believe that. I believe that for a long time. Every time I think I'm gonna do something and start running, fear would be like, "What you doing? Where you going? Go sit down." Yes, I'm talking to you, go sit down. And I would be like, "Fear, you hold on a minute, I'll go sit down over here, but I'm gonna be back." Time and time and time again. Fear sat me down. And then one day, I don't know how it happened, I just woke up, set a goal for myself for that day, and did it. Wait a minute. Anybody see fear? Anybody? Fear's not here? Oh, okay, we're gonna do this again. And again. And again. And I just kept doing it. Over and over and over. I couldn't believe it. Well, listen, everything didn't go as planned. Everything wasn't amazing. But the fact that I got up and I did it. Got those muscles working, Like, yes, this is gonna happen. And as I turned around and said, watch this, I'm like, get it, hold on. And there, fear was. Looking at me like, oh, you thought you were slick, did you? Where you think you're going? That old way came back to me. You know how it is. When you're afraid of something that'll came back to you, you're like, But instead of backing up, you know what I said? I said, fear, move. You are in my path. Fear backed up a little bit. Wait a minute. Who are you talking to? I'm talking to you, fear. I need you to move. See, because my future is on the other side of you, so you need to get out of my way. Fear bucked up a little bit, like, what you gonna do about it? What do you want I'm gonna do about it? I'm gonna move you out the way, and I'm gonna keep going. Now, mind you, my heart was about to pop out my chest. I'd never done anything like that in my life. I had never faced fear like that. But I had to, because someone had just asked me to open for Lunel at the Funny Bone. There was no way I was turning down that opportunity. So fear had to go. Fear, you had to move. I was not going to miss this opportunity, because that opportunity led to me opening for Kim Whitney, led to me opening for some other comedians at the Funny Bone. So if I would have let fear keep me right there, I would not have made it. And I thought about it. This feels good. I like this. I like this. Now, please know, every time I did something amazing, it didn't go well. There was some fallbacks and some situations. But when I sat down and I processed and I worked through it, I realized something. The fact that I did it put me closer to where I wanted to be. I started to thinking, how did I get to this place? What did I put in place? Did I create something? Did I move something out of the way? Did I get body snatched? Any pods around me? No, I'm good, no pods. What I did was I made a decision. I made a choice. And we are all faced with choices and decisions every day. We know people that have analysis paralysis, that can't make a decision to save their life. It's gonna be red, it's gonna be blue. I like red because it's fiery, it's comfort. I like blue because it's soft and it's cuddly. But when you look around, they're gone. Because you have to make a decision, I have to go. But I made a decision, and I said, I want that. I wanted Oprah Winfrey-esque-ness. Is that a word? I wanted to have people look at me for my expertise. I want to be a Patty Blackwood expert. I don't do issues though, but I want to be a Patty Blackwood expert. I want to know that what I do and what I say and what I've learned matters to someone. One of my biggest fears while I was coming through was that I was a teenage mother and that no one would pay any attention to me because, why? You were a teenager and you had a baby. But when I look back on my life, as a teenage mother, I got to speak to the House of Representatives in the state of Kansas to tell them how to reform welfare. As a teenage mother, I got to speak in front of high schools and tell them that your dream may be delayed, it is not denied. As a teenage mother, I got to receive a bachelor's degree and then a master's degree. So why would I think then that fear would stop me and I can't do this because I was a teenage mother? It is the delusions that we allow ourselves to believe. It is the things that keep us where we are. And fear is a big one. Whenever I'm doing my daily devotional and I come across the scripture, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. Let me stop you right there. Did you just say the shadow of death? I'm going to call you back when I get out this valley, because I'm not walking through a valley of death. Then I would read it again, and then again, and again. And finally the Lord popped me on the back of my head. He said, "You're missing the word, sweetie." I said, "What word, Jesus?" He said, "Shadow." What's a shadow? It is something that the light is thrown on. It's not the real thing. It's a reflection of something off in the distance. In the distance, it looks huge. But when you walk up on it, it's like this little. That was my fear of any time I would succeed, or gain success, or be the person that I wanted to be. That shadow would loom large over me. What I learned to do was move the light. I moved the light off the shadow and put it on myself. So now I seem big. Now I appear bigger than I am. And I am doing what I want to do. And as I think about the things that I did and how I incorporated this into my life and pass it on to others, I know that people need steps. So I came up with 5 amazing steps that you can use to move on to that next level. First, you have to speak it into existence. I went to an amazing workshop with Next Level. I did the Discovery Emotional Intelligence session and discovered a lot about myself. But the one thing that I discovered most is that I always spoke things into being. And I just want to magnify that. I just spoke it and said it over and over and over and over. So every morning when I get up, I say I'm amazing, I am powerful, I'm going to move mountains. I am going to have an empowered coaching business making well over $6,000 a month to sustain me and my household, as well as the others that I am blessed to help every day. Has it happened? No, but am I closer? Yes, I just got a coaching contract because I spoke it into existence. Visualize. The mind creates a lot of things for us. The mind tells you you can do something or you cannot do something. So you visualize it and you can see it. It almost becomes real. I am amazed when I watch any kind of movie magic. Face Off was my favorite reality show. To see them create monsters out of just a thought, because they first have to see it in their mind before they can put it out as an actual product. You have to see it. You have to say it and you have to see it. Step 3, prepare as though it is really happening. Make necessary changes in your life. The one problem that a lot of people have, oh girl, I want to lose this weight, child, I want to lose this weight. As we head into the ice cream parlor. You got to act like you're going to lose this weight. You may not have lost the weight or eaten a celery or a carrot, but you have to start preparing for that. So I'm preparing to eat food and lose the weight. Accept it when it comes to you. This is where you will prepare your Academy Award winning face and speech. I like to thank the Academy. Prepare now. You know those celebrities are at home practicing. You know they didn't just get up. They knew. You might be on the running, so prepare your speech. We should also prepare as well. Do it as though your life depends on it, because it does. We die a little every day when we don't live the dream that we were put here to live. Do it. And finally, tell others. Do not keep it to yourself. By telling others, you are letting them know, I was once like you. You're not alone. You can do this. Don't sit back and keep it to yourself. Pay it forward. The more you pay it forward, the more others are going to come to the other side of success. So now you should be on the path of getting unstuck and not being afraid of the dark and having an amazing time. I want to thank you all for your opportunity to speak before you, and I hope that you know that when it's over, you're only breaking up with fear and not yourself. Thank you.
third speaker for the evening is Harry. Harry's speech tonight will be the second part